Yo, call me a high Q the way I volley your balls. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Kids. Today, and only today, we are here to talk about what I feel are the 5 must-play current Sonic fan projects out there in 2023. What stands out the most? What is continuously, being updated? What is something that's just really cool that just launched, start to finish, came out, did its thing, and all that. For the sake of this video, I will not be showing stuff like demos or, smaller stuff like mods like Sonic Riders Tournament Edition, which is fire. It adds characters to that game, or even stuff like, Sonic Galactic, which I think looks incredible, but, it only has a few zones available out to the public. Not even, I think it's like 1 or 2. So yeah, I'm going to be focusing mainly on stuff that's mostly done. Again, with a fan project, it could really never be done. They could update it more, but mostly done in a lot of ways. So let's get right into it. The first one I think you all need to check out is Sonic 16-bit Triple Trouble. This game, genuinely, if you did not tell me this was a fan project, if you told me this was just a lost Sonic game, that just never came out, or a Sonic game that even came out, I would believe it, because it plays exactly like a classic game. It feels like an exact sequel to the OG games in a lot of ways. There's some cool in-game cutscenes that work like they would in the original, but it's just the way Sonic feels in the game and plays is so good, man. The level design is so well done. It's so well executed, and I think this is a game that if you give a shit about any of the classic Sonic games, because we've gotten, fully done classic Sonic games. I know very famous ones such as Sonic before the sequel and after the sequel were also finished projects, but this one genuinely felt like an authentic sequel, to the OG trilogy of Sonic games, or Sonic CD, or however you want to call them. In terms of just, how it handles fun. Level design, it never feels like, it never feels like a fan game. Because sometimes, you'll play a fan game and you'll feel like, okay, the level design, I could tell these people are, they're still working on this, they're getting good, but it's not crazy. But this felt like an authentic Sonic game. I don't want to spoil all of the footage of this in here, but, there's a lot of cool mechanics they introduced in levels. The music is so good in there. The level design is fun, and you can play as Sonic, you can play as Tails, and I think you can even unlock Fang at the end of the game. And Fang, by the way, is a big highlight of the game. Is a boss fight. You fight him multiple times. So cool highlight on side characters, fun platforming, very well designed game, and just, and like I said, feels like an exact sequel to those old games. Another must play you gotta check out is one you've heard about before, but I have to just talk about it. It's Sonic Robo Blast 2 / Sonic Robo Blast Kart or whatever. This game is phenomenal. If for those of you that don't know, this literally runs on the engine that runs Doom from back in the day, and people have made crazy mods with this. People have been able, to mod characters like Shadow. You could play, as Blaze. You could play as Marine. You could play, in a Sonic 06 level. You could play in different areas. You can play stuff like, be the Mario 64 cast, and you're playing on Mario 64 racetracks. You can play online with people. You can play offline. It's like this game in so many ways has allowed people to be so creative, in terms of what they've been able to design and what to do. And the controls are really good. You can play with controller, you can play with mouse and keyboard. A lot of the characters that people add in have their own unique move sets. There's one of my favorite mods in there where you can play as adventure / modern Sonic, and he's got, his homing attack and all these moves. So I just really love everything they did with SRB2 and SRB2K. And like I said, the other day I streamed it, had a blast of a time online with friends, even if it's a bit of a bitch to do and set up because you gotta port forward and stuff because the games don't have online dedicated servers. I wish Sega would fund these guys and give them more resources, because this thing is phenomenal, and I think it's one of the best things that has ever graced the Sonic community. And I genuinely think you should check it out, because to this day, you go on message boards, there's plenty of mods continuously being added. There's levels, new mechanics and everything. So highly recommend Sonic Robo Blast 2. It is fun, it is beautiful, you can run it on pretty much a toaster, and I think it's a must play. You gotta check this one out. Next up is Sonic Project Unleashed Reimagined. Now, obviously, if you're a big Sonic fan, you've been in the community for a long time, you know about Sonic Project Unleashed, which aimed to, add a lot of the OG, the main levels of Sonic Unleashed from, consoles to PC in generations. But it has been updated so much now that you pretty much could not tell at all that you were playing Sonic Generations. They've added the menu UIs from Unleashed. They've added, different times of day that you could play the levels in. There's different texture packs in there. You can add mods on top of those mods. There's different level packs. You could check out different stuff. It's like, it is so much more expanded, and it looks beautiful today. They've updated graphically to Sonic's model and everything. Like, the game just looks phenomenal. I mean, you would just think you are playing an HD remaster of Sonic Unleashed available on PC. Obviously we're missing the Werehog stages, which I just think are just, a lost thing that's hard to do unless we got an actual PC port of Unleashed. But for the most part, I really do feel like this game has earned its place in the Sonic community as like one of the most, must-play Sonic fan projects to this day. Like I said, because you can access those levels in the most beautiful way possible. It's fun, it's frantic, and again, who can complain about playing Sonic Unleashed daytime levels at any point in their life? Next up, Sonic Project 06, one you have all heard about, but I got to talk about this one because, yeah, this thing is not really fully done yet. I know that they still have to add stuff like, the hub worlds, which they might not do, and like the final boss story, but for now you can fully play the campaigns of Sonic, Silver, and Shadow the Hedgehog. And man, this thing has almost gaslit me into believing that Sonic 06 was like one of the best Sonic games because he fixed it. There's no bugs, it is fully playable, the levels feel good, Sonic's gameplay is awesome. They've added like these little insert cutscenes before certain levels start, which adds so much flair to it. Fix Silver, like Silver's gameplay is genuinely funny, has better run speed, the what's called the levitating mechanics are better and everything. It is so dope. Shadow's gameplay is way more like fun. It's like I cannot believe what this project has done to Sonic 06. I mean, one of the most hated games of all time / worst reviewed, has turned into one of the most beloved fan projects in the series. And keep in mind, by the way, this dude has remade this from scratch. This isn't a mod. You don't need an existing copy of Sonic 06. This dude has recreated this game from the ground up. So I highly recommend you check this out. They just updated it with Silver. You might have seen my playthrough here or others. But yeah, 100%. If you give a shit about Sonic or Sonic 06's potential or anything, this is a must play. And on top of that, this thing has its own mod loader, so people are making mods in this thing. You can play as Adventure Sonic in there. You can play as a pigeon if you want. There's a bunch of cool little mods. There's even stuff like, yeah, people are adding Sonic in the Secret Rings levels in there. And like, obviously, Sonic fans' creative freedom never stops. And I just always love that. And last but not least, I gotta talk about Sonic and the Fallen Star. This was a game that came out last year, but I still think is one of the most must-play Sonic games out there. Because first of all, right, like I said, it's very rare you get a, new sprite-based Sonic game that's finished. A lot of times you get demos or half games, because the teams don't have the time or dedication to work stuff. But this game, Sonic and the Fallen Star, fully done from start to finish. I think you get 6 to 8 zones in there. You get an incredible soundtrack. You get some of the best pixel art I've seen. I love the pixel art. It almost looks like Nitro style Sonic, which is really fire. I love how he looks. I love his little animations in there. You get cutscenes in between certain zones. You get a fun story in there. You get actually really good Chaos Emerald hunting missions in there, which are really dope too. And I fell in love with this game when I first played it last year, and to this day I still jump back into it. In fact, I was getting footage for this video and I was just like, man, this game is so good. The aesthetic of the levels, how fun it is. I do feel like sometimes you can tell the dev team is not pros at what they're doing. Some of the level design can be like a little confusing or very straightforward. But for the most part, I really do feel like the game is so well done. Like, it's so polished, it's so fun, it's like there's boss fights, it's so creative. And I like it, the fact that you could just, if you told me Sega just published this one, they were like, hey, we woke up one morning, this game was released on Steam as just a fun fan project that was official, I would 100% believe it. So 100% check out Sonic and the Fallen Star. Worth your time, just like it's worth your time to play all of these 16-bit triple trouble, however you want to call it, however you want to play your Project 06 and everything, SRB's. Like, I'm so happy that one of the best things about the Sonic community is the passion for the fan projects. It's something that has kept the franchise, I feel, alive, so much over the years. And to see just how much it has, continued to grow, continue to be impacted on the community, makes people want to make more stuff. Like, it's so cool. It's just surreal. I'm very happy with it. And guys, let me know, of course, what your favorites are. What do you think are the must plays out there that I didn't talk about or should check out? And yeah, I love you guys. Thank you all for watching. You're the best, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.